and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 20th of December. So I thought I'd do another zoomed out video for this one. I know you can't quite see exactly me placing the diamonds, but I thought it will give you the opportunity to sort of see, you know, the pots and all that sort of stuff. Just varies it up a little bit. So I'm going to start with the 310 again, just because it's black. Let's get black out of the way. So I hope you're all pretty much ready for Christmas. If not, I hope you've got your to-do list and you're all on the right track. I'm using a gift from a subscriber today of a clay pen, which is really comfy. It's amazing how comfy it is. It's just a bit wider than the pink pens, but so much easier to get hold of. Does have a multi-placer on the end, though I've never got to grips with multi-placers. I'm a single placer kind of girl. It's just what I do. I know it's not cheating, but I kind of feel like it's cheating using a multi-placer, though I'm sure I would get some diamond paintings done a whole lot quicker if I taught myself to get to grips with a multi-placer. But yeah, I've never really done it. Never really had the inkling to sort of figure it all out. So this is nearly the black done, and there we go. That's that black sort of section done and out the way. I've got the ends of sort of this swirl now. Oh, I've lost a black diamond. If I need it, remind me I've got one on the floor, because I ain't going for it now. So some of these diamonds are getting lower. I'm not thinking I'm not going to have enough though, because each square is not using too much of a particular colour. And while these little pots don't seem to hold a lot, they do actually hold a fair amount. So let's get this peachy sort of colour down, and let's get out the questions again. So this is a list of 100 questions, and we're getting there. We're on like number 23, so I reckon this can see me through to Christmas Eve, which is good, because otherwise all you'll hear me talk about is either repeating myself on diamond painting or decorating, because they're the two things that are mainly on my head at the moment. Of course, Christmas and celebrations and stuff, we've done quite a bit. But the next question, what's the best way to start the day? I think this can be answered a couple of ways. I think this can be answered in an ideal world and in my real world. So in an ideal world, it would be great to be one of those people called a morning person, which is definitely not me. I am not too good in the morning. I do not particularly like mornings, never have done. And when I'm off work, I take far too long to get myself sort of to the awake stage, to the awake and ready and up for fighting the day. I take far too long. When I'm at work, I very much have a morning routine. It would be very nice to be a morning person, to maybe get up and have a run, you know, feel refreshed, and then jump into your day. In reality, what's the best way to start a morning for me? Coffee. Straight up, coffee required. Sorry, I'm just waking up my phone because otherwise it keeps falling asleep with the questions. But yeah, for me, coffee. Coffee is the one thing that probably gets me ready to face my day. And I just take too long drinking it and then having a second drink when I'm not at work. Whereas when I'm at work, I take my second drink with me. Maybe I should do that more when I'm at home. Maybe I should put it in my sort of work to go cup that I take with me and take it around the house and drink it that way rather than drinking it in a cup. Maybe that would make me more productive. See, gets your thoughts ticking talking about this sort of stuff. Okay, what's the... And then it asked me, what do you wish you knew more about, is question 24. That was exactly the same as question number 22. So we'll skip that. 25, how different was your life 1 year ago? 1 year ago. So it wasn't too different. I'd found diamond painting, so, and if not, I already had hobbies. So hobbies were already something that I did. YouTube has taken off a lot more in the last year. I did YouTube for scrapbooking, but while I had, you know, a good amount of followers when it was solely scrapbooking, it definitely seems to have taken off more with diamond painting. Whether that's because the passion for diamond painting is there a little bit more. Scrapbooking was more of it had been a long-term hobby, I think, and it's not as new a hobby either. So there wasn't as much teaching people that was required, or, you know, even giving out hints and tips. So yeah, that's probably changed. My job role has slightly changed. So while I have, for longer than a year, I have been within the complaints department of a company, I have, within the last year, I have moved over to deal with the Irish complaints within a company, and that brings a whole different way of working, a whole different level of knowledge required, and indeed training required. So there are exams and certain qualifications that are beneficial to that role. So I've gone back to learning and exams in the past year. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm not quite sure. It's just the way the job and life is, and it's just the way we work. So yeah, my life's changed in that sense. Work has got a lot busier, a lot different, but in turn a lot more rewarding. I feel as though things vary a lot more. I don't like to do too much of a same and mundane task. I do like, some days I like it, don't get me wrong, some days mundane is good, but not all the time. I get too restless and too bored. So yeah, that's changed. My husband is now doing a job he enjoys more, so that's changed. Neither of us now work weekends, which is great. So yeah, I suppose life is on the up. Things are getting better for us, a bit more towards, I say normal, you know, the normal 9 to 5. It's getting closer to the normal 9 to 5. We're both in jobs we enjoy a bit more. You know, we still enjoyed our other jobs. It wasn't that we hated them, but there were parts of them that we didn't like. And the parts that we don't like anymore are less significant. I think that's probably the way to say it. The less significant dislikes. So that's always good. So yes, life is better than it was a year ago. Okay, question number 26. What is the best single day on the calendar? I'm going to have to go for December the 25th. And I think that's for a few different reasons. There's a few different things that make it an awesome day. So there is family all together. I love, you know, all kids are home. It's a jolly day. Everybody tends to be in a good mood, you know, so it's not a matter of one particular person being grumpy or not. And that's what I like about the 25th. It's always pretty much going to be a day that everybody's happy. It's a day that all the running about from the previous month or days or weeks or however long you've been planning for Christmas. It's the date that all those different types of stresses, should we say, it's the date that they're all gone. And yeah, it's family together. It's a fun time, regardless of the presents or not. You know, as we get older, the presents definitely aren't the be all and end all the same way they were maybe when we were children. But yeah, it's everybody's together. Everybody tends to be in a good mood. Yeah, I think it's going to be Christmas Day for that reason. Okay, what are some things you've had to unlearn? Ooh, what have you had to unlearn? I've had to unlearn being a perfectionist quite as much in some areas of my life. I think I've had to unlearn, I don't know whether learning patience, whether there's an unlearn equivalent to that. I don't quite know whether that's a thing. But yeah, having kids and having 4 kids that are all very different has definitely made me let go of perfectionism as much, and learn to go with the flow. That's more of a learn than an unlearn though, isn't it? I've had to unlearn some things that you've had to unlearn. It's a very weird question, that one. Probably people are shouting at me with answers that they think suits, and I'm just like, what? I don't quite know what else I may have had to unlearn. Trying to think if there's anything that I've always done a certain way and it was wrong and I need to change it. But no. Okay, your favourite genre of book or movie? So I think I have been through this in regards to books that I like to read. So books tends to be crime or mystery. Tends to be what I like. In regards to movies, similar. I like mild action movies, you know, with a good storyline. I wouldn't say I like full on action movies, but I do like them to have a bit of action. And then sometimes I'm just in the mood for a good old rom-com. That's always a good sort of sit down and wind down movie genre or film genre. It's amazing how much I keep picking up the word movie instead of the word film. But that's a whole English and American thing that words keep crossing over in various places, and I keep picking up the odd one. Okay, what's the furthest you've ever been from home? Well, that's a pretty easy one to answer. Furthest I've ever been from home is Australia. So that's the furthest I've ever been from this home. But in turn, I'm at my parents' home, or at my sister's, or at my brother's. So it's it's a little bit of a home away from home, because it's family too. But yeah, Australia is the furthest I've ever been away from home. I do that trip every few years, and go and enjoy and spend time with them. Okay, what TV channel doesn't exist but really should? Is there a TV channel that doesn't exist? Is there really? Probably more of a crafts channel. So there's craft shopping channels, but is there craft talking channels, craft discussion channels when they're not trying to sell something? Maybe that's a channel that should exist. It's about in the form of YouTube, but I don't think it's a channel that exists on normal TV. Not that I know of, in the UK anyway. So yeah, more of a craft talky channel where people show you different crafts and discuss different crafts without trying to sell at you, which means they tell you the truth rather than bigging up whatever they're trying to sell. Okay, where is the most interesting place you've ever been? Sorry, I'm just moving on now to the AB diamond. So this is the pen that I've been using to place the AB, because it's a little bit stickier. Where's the most interesting place? Must admit, going to Australia was definitely interesting, but I'd say it's more beautiful than interesting. Where else have we been? So we've been to Venice. That was interesting in the fact of you know, the way the buildings are constructed and the way there's the bridges joining up the houses, or joining up, you know, streets because of the canals running through. So Venice was probably very interesting. While I might go Australia quite often, I'm not a huge globe trotter, so I've not been loads of places to be able to compare. Just got some bits of the sort of glue off the end of that pen. It is clear, so it's not too bad to deal with, but we'll get that off the painting. And then last one at 145. So yeah, that's probably the most interesting. Venice. Trying if I think anywhere, you know, that we went that you maybe learnt more. We went into York Cathedral. That was interesting in the fact of being, you know, learning about, you know, fires that had taken place, or we had sort of, you know, they did free guided tours once you'd entered, so that was also interesting. But yeah, probably to look around without, you know, going and paying to learn anything. Probably Venice for that one. I've just tried to push another diamond down so it has tried to pick up some of that wax. So it's just white, it does come out, but my pen's definitely squishing down a bit more. What fad or trend do you hope comes back? Ooh. Trying to think of a fad or a trend in my childhood. Because really the denim has come back. I'd say the hot pant shorts, but I'm too old for them now. What fad or trend do you wish could come back? Let me know, because I forget them. I really do forget them. What fad or trend? So I've just placed them all down with that, and I'm just pushing down any that need it with my normal pen. Fad or trend? Maybe speaking to your neighbours more. That'd be good to come back. I know some people do, but it's not always the way. Right, there we go. Anyway, we chatted our way through the 20th. Ooh, got some nice AB diamonds down the bottom, we see. I like the scattering of AB in this one, I must say. Only 4 more days to go, so I hope you'll join me while I blunder my way through some random questions. But thank you so much for joining me for today, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.